So this is my Hot Wheels wall. This is where I put all the Hot Wheels that I collect, or at least most of them. My favorite out of all of them would be this Subaru Impreza 228 Ti. This was one of the first ones I actually put up on the wall, like one of the first ones that I got. I don't know, Japanese cars always had a special place in my heart, so. My name is Sammy Hawk. I'm 17 years old, and I'm an amateur Hot Wheels collector. I started collecting in the summer of my junior year in high school, or going into my junior year in high school. I was just at Walmart shopping, and then I walked into the cereal aisle, and there was like a little section for Hot Wheels there, and I saw a Camaro, and I just picked it up because I thought it looked cool. I haven't bought a Hot Wheels since like, I don't know, kindergarten, so I was like, why not? From that, I just started collecting. My first Hot Wheel was this light blue car. I don't remember the model, but I do still have it. My dad got it for me in this set. I remember I was just so excited because it was a car and I was like 5. But I did have a friend that I'd go collecting with. We would leave school during our lunch break and walk to the Walmart right next to school and try and hunt for Hot Wheels. Sometimes we don't get any, but sometimes whenever we did, it was fun buying them. Since I just collect Hot Wheels in my spare time, I'm not necessarily the most knowledgeable source, but if you take the drive up towards Canyon Lake, you'll find someone who has a lot more knowledge on the history of collecting and Hot Wheels in general.
I've been in the DIECAST hobby for a long time. We opened up the store in 2021, so last year. But I got started in the hobby in 1998 when I opened up hallsguide.com as an online price guide for Hot Wheels and other diecast. I was really into baseball cards and sports cards back in the 90s, even in the 80s. And one of my friends in college actually got me into Hot Wheels. And so I eventually transitioned to collecting more Hot Wheels and diecast than I was sports cards at the time. I think my favorite memories of collecting would go back to the 90s and early 2000s and just the thrill of finding something rare. Hot Wheels would do different variations of the same car in a year, so you might get one with different paint colors, different wheels, and sometimes they would be really rare, so chasing those really rare variations was always a lot of fun, and when you found one, that was always a big payoff. Got some from the NFT set that just came out this year. Hot Wheels started an NFT set, so they did the digital collectibles online, and there were 5 from Series 1 that were redeemable for physical Hot Wheels. So I ended up getting all of those. The rarest one in that set, they made 394 of, that was the Golden Bone Shaker. So that would be the rarest one I have, I think. I didn't want to just accumulate as many as possible, but I wanted to have them in my collection, take pictures, document them, and then maybe send them back out. So that was the biggest thing, just to see as many different Hot Wheels and diecast as I could, and then be able to send those on to other people that really wanted to keep them. I think the one thing that keeps me attracted to the hobby of collecting is there's always new stuff. There's always more to see and to get a hold of, but there's so much history out there as well. I've always enjoyed the history of diecast and the history of Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and some of the other brands as well, and I think there's probably more history there than I would ever be able to cover in a lifetime, so being able to do that is really rewarding. In starting the store, I was always into the hobby. I was selling some online through eBay and things like that, and I think 2015 or 2016 I started a YouTube channel to go along with our online price guide and news that we did on Hall's Guide, and at that time I really started to accumulate a lot of diecast as I was doing case unboxings and things like that. And so I was selling some online through eBay and things like that, but I continued to accumulate a lot more than what I was selling because I was just kind of casually selling online. And during the COVID pandemic, we actually moved, and because we had so many Hot Wheels during the COVID pandemic, we did a Hot Wheels yard sale, and we advertised on Facebook. I think I actually put the advertisement up at midnight the night before we did it, and the next day we just had people coming in one after the other, and saw that there was a huge market for that. And my goal at the time was just to really thin out my collection and sell them for cheap. But as we found out, there was a really huge market, and we kind of built off that and decided, well, let's stop just selling out of the house and selling, from our kitchen and running an eBay business from our dining room table, but rather let's go ahead and set up a store and get started. And of course, we've done online sales as well. So that was a big part of our strategy, was to build an online store and to be able to sell all over. We like to expand into other lines. We've Hot Wheels was kind of our main line starting out, and then we got into Greenlight and into machines soon after, and we've gradually added more. We really like some of the premium lines. We've got a lot of Mini GT, Auto World, Johnny Lightning. So being able to expand into those and just offer more. We've also bought out older collections, so continuing to accumulate older collections and really rare items, that's something we would like to continue on. Owning this shop has been really cool because I get to see people come in all the time and meet new people, and we have regular customers, but we get people from all over the US that happen to be in San Antonio and want to come out here and see us. Before I had the shop, I had hallsguide.com, and we had a really big community online. We had back in the day before social media, we had a really active message board. And so there was a lot of friendships that were made online and kind of a little collectors community. I even got to meet some of those people in person, and some of those people that were part of that community back then that I kind of knew online, I've actually met in the store that have kind of trickled in over time. And some of them didn't even know, that I was the guy that started Hall's Guide, but I knew them and they knew me online, and it was really cool to make those connections.